What's going on, guys? My name's David. Welcome to, I think this should be my first video on this channel. Um, so for Christmas, I decided to get myself a couple of Lego UCS Star Wars sets. I've been a huge collector for a while now. Eventually, I'll run through some of the past sets I've done, but this is one of the very first sets that I got in a while. So decided to just do a very quick review. So this is the UCS TIE Interceptor. The reason why I got this was because I actually have the TIE Fighter, and I thought that this would be probably a good complement. With the black and white color scheme, they probably look really good next to each other. So I decided to get this. I got this at Target for about, I think, $230 retail price, before taxes. And I believe this has close to 2,000 pieces. So let's see, it's 1,931 pieces. So pretty cool there. And yeah, I'm just really excited to open this up, get it cracked open, and then I'm gonna build it, and then I'll do just a quick review, taking a look at the set, all its features and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoy. I'll get back to you once I build it. Okay, everyone. So I actually lied a little bit. I'm not going to go straight into the build process. Before I do that, I actually want to just review all the contents of the box so you guys can see what's in it and what to expect. So first, starting off with the box itself, you got that nice kind of classic UCS look with a TIE Interceptor, just that model. And I think this is really cool. A lot of people kind of disagree with this and they want more box art with stuff in the background. However, I'm of the opinion that this is actually really nice because it distinguishes it from other sets. So you can clearly tell what's a play set and what's a UCS set. So I actually really like this, and I think the model on its own just looks beautiful. So I don't really mind. And then inside, you got this little white booklet here, or white, white sort of envelope, whatever you want to call it. And inside, you got the instruction manual, you got the sticker sheet, and then you have this really nice printed nameplate, actually. So in previous iterations, this has always been a sticker that you have to put onto kind of a black piece like this. However, they actually printed it on this time, and I'm a really big fan of this. I really hate stickers, so having this is actually way nicer. As you can see, it is a little bit scratched up, which is not amazing, but I mean, I don't really mind. I'd take this over like messing up a sticker any day, so I really like this, and I think they should keep doing this. So now, just looking at the bags itself, it looks like we have a total of 22 numbered bags, which is really cool. So, hopefully this is a fun build process. It looks fairly short for a UCS, for a modern UCS set, I should say. I mean, back in the day, this would be pretty standard, but, you got these giant sets nowadays. So hopefully it's a fun and nice build process. I really enjoyed building the TIE Fighter, so hopefully this is similar or even better. But yeah, I'm for real this time. I will catch you guys after the full build process is done. All right, guys, welcome back. Yeah, so I just finished building the set. Took me about, I think, 9 hours total, roughly. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was 10 hours. That doesn't include breaks, so, I did this over the course of about 1.5 days. So I spent last night doing it, and then a couple hours here and there today doing it as well. But as you can see, this is the final build. Got that little nameplate there, the 25-year anniversary brick, a little mouse droid, and then a TIE Fighter. They actually gave me 2 guns, so I dual wield this guy. And yeah, so this is kind of build, and just to go over some of my brief thoughts. I think the cockpit area in general just looks extremely nice. They use a lot of techniques here to kind of smooth it out. And I feel like that's really cool. They use a lot of cool pieces too that you didn't expect to see on there. So for example, I think these are like gaming pieces or something like that, which I didn't expect to see. And there's a couple other like weird pieces in there, from other like intellectual properties, which I find really interesting. The cockpit itself took about half the build, I would say. I'd say it's about the first 10 bags or so. And that's pretty fun. I would say I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I mean, it's not like to say it was bad or anything, but there were some difficulties. There's a lot of like kind of small pieces and details, which I'm personally not the hugest fan of. Of course, it makes it look really, really nice in the final product. So yeah, you can kind of see the cockpit in here, and you can actually open this up, I believe. And yep, just do that. And it reveals kind of this interior here. There's a lot of detail in here. I wish I could get better shots. If you subscribe, maybe you can get a new camera. But yeah, there's a lot of details in there, and I'll go in for a rear view soon. But yeah, that's kind of the front side of it. There's some pieces here that I don't like the way they did. Like there's this flat piece that's just kind of hanging and it's not really put on. There's a couple gaps in the cockpit as well, just like very noticeable gaps, which again, I'm not a huge fan of. But I will say, in general, it does look pretty nice, pretty sleek, and pretty uniform. So I'm going to go over and show the backside. All right, so kind of getting a backside or topside view at first for now. There's a little chair that you can put the minifigure in. I believe it fits. Got these two handles that he's using to drive the thing. You got that little sticker. There's a lot of stickers and just kind of pieces inside here. You can kind of see like there's all these triangle pieces that they use to kind of display stuff. Again, it's a little hard to see, but yeah, I think that's all pretty cool. The back itself is a little bit more, I guess, like bulky than I thought it was gonna be. Again, it's like the front is nice and like smoothed out and kind of circular. This one's a little bit more protruding. So if you like the look of that, I mean, whatever floats your boat. I'm not the hugest fan of it, but it does look, you know, again, fairly fine. Like I love the kind of like smoothing that they did here and here. So, you know, big fan of that. And again, it's all in all, it's a pretty stable build, I would say. So pretty good there. All right, and getting kind of a more lateral view now. Let's take a look at the wings, which are surprisingly enough, actually my favorite part of the build. I kind of expected them to be really boring and repetitive, but for some reason, the wings on this thing are extremely fun to build. They're really fast to put together, and they just come out so nice and sleek. Like, I mean, take a look at this. It's all like completely flat here, nice and shiny. I mean, it's amazing. You got the little details running down here. These center sections were also super fun to build. Again, a lot of, you know, nice little details here. You got, I think those are like guns or something protruding out of there. You got these guns at the tip, which use an interesting kind of building technique. That's probably my least favorite part of the wings. They just look a little bit strange, I would say, but nothing crazy. However, just the wings themselves, so fun to build, so nice. There's 4 of them, so you get to do it 4 times, and it's just the most fun part of the build, in my opinion. I'm not really sure what it is. I enjoyed this way more than building the cockpit, so that was easily kind of my favorite part of the build. All in all, I'd give the build process a pretty decent rating. I'd say in terms of like the most fun I've had ever being a 10, and just like horrible, I want to get it over with, being a 1, I'd say this is approximating a 6. Again, some parts were really fun, some parts were a little bit more frustrating. In terms of difficulty, not very difficult at all. I'd say 1 being super easy, 10 being super hard. I'd give it like a 3. Again, a couple small parts in the cockpit that made it challenging, but everything else I think was pretty standard. Again, the wings, super easy to build, just whipping through those. Again, it's just a super fun build, and it looks really nice too. I really like kind of the symmetrical way this thing looks. I've always been a big fan of the TIE model, so this is definitely a huge W for me. I'm gonna have a lot of fun putting it up in display. And I mentioned that I partly got this model because I wanted to complement my TIE fighter. So here they are side to side. Before you ask, I actually did dust off the TIE fighter before I presented it here. I think it just builds up a lot of stuff over time, so there's some stuff that I can't really get rid of unless I do a thorough clean, so I apologize in advance, but you can clearly see the difference in color between these two. I mean, again, these have, the gray parts especially, have just gotten old. I think the black parts have really held up pretty well. I mean, they're very nice and slick and shiny, so Props to Lego Builder for doing that. And throughout all these years, this thing has remained extremely sturdy. I mean, I can actually lift this off of the stand. Maybe not with one hand. Well, actually, let me try. There we go. A little bit of a risky business there. But yeah, I can lift it off with, again, with one hand, and it stands up perfectly fine on its own. It's extremely sturdy. One of the most sturdy builds I've ever done. These wings also were amazing. I'll do a full review of this some other time maybe. But yeah, this is really sturdy. This is not quite as sturdy, just because of the way the model is done. But I totally understand. But again, it's not bad for what it is. And just doing a brief comparison of the two. I do like the look of the TIE Interceptor more. I think it's just a little cooler. It's a little more sharp. This is kind of flat. It's a little bit more dull. The cockpit, I would say I do like the fact that the cockpit is a little more flush. However, I do like the new details on the cockpit design. So, it's kind of a give or take. Overall, I would say I prefer the construction process of this more. It's a lot more fun. However, I will also say that I prefer the detail on this one. So, again, it's kind of a give or take. And just doing a side-by-side comparison on the stands here, you can see that the TIE Fighter, which actually has a lot less pieces. I think this is about 1,600 pieces or something like that. It looks a lot bigger than the TIE Interceptor. So a lot of the pieces on the TIE Interceptor are actually going towards, again, the details on the cockpit. It took a really long time compared to this one. So again, I would say overall, I enjoyed the build process for this one more. However, just in terms of display, I do like the Interceptor more. I'm missing the minifigure here, but I think roughly that's, kind of about the same. I do like the stand for this one visually a little bit more. However, functionally, I think this stand is a lot better. This holds up super well. It's actually my favorite stand of all the ones I've done. It's just really nice. You can kind of, spin the TIE in place there. Again, I don't want to do it with one hand, but, it's pretty cool. This one seems a lot more unstable. And you actually have to prop up the thing while you're attaching the wings and stuff. And sometimes I saw it like lean to one side. I got a little bit concerned. Sometimes I had to take it off to do that. So again, just in terms of stability, I think there are a couple small issues with this set compared to this one, which I really have no gripes with. So that's kind of my review. Obviously take this for what it is on its own. It's a very good set. I would give it overall a 7 out of 10. Just very solid, good UCS set. Not my favorite, but definitely, not one of my least favorites, I'll say that. It just looks very nice, very solid. Again, I always love the TIE Fighters, and this was, pretty fun to build, pretty nice to look at, pretty easy. So this is going to be a nice little piece in my collection. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys with another video soon of the other 2 UCS sets I've done. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more LEGO Star Wars videos. Thank you, everybody.